Well, we heard a lot this morning, didn't we? I've been pondering, the last couple of weeks, I've been pondering on a few words. That is connection and effective communication. A couple of weeks ago, I heard Nathan Martin on connection. Why are all these things happening? Why is these sexual immoralities happening? Why is all these evil things happening? If we look at it a little bit, we're not connected. If we connect here, we connect here. We connect here, we connect here. We're connecting. Then everything else will follow. He had all these lists of questions, and his answer was, we're not connected to the source. We're not connected. We connect here, we connect here. Bingo. And everything else will follow. Everything. What does that connection look like in human minds? What does effective communication look like in human minds? Are we effective in what we do? Are we effective communication to God? Am I effective communicating to my brother Ben right now? As I talk to him, what's going on? What are we saying? What are we saying to our employees? What are we saying to our guys that we work with? We can go on and on and on. I don't have no notes, but I'm just going to run it through. What I'm seeing, how's our work being done? Is what you said, what I heard, two different things, right? What he said and what I heard is two different things. Recently, that happened to me over the phone. Someone was being accused for something, and his church was accusing him, and I thought his pastor was accusing him as well. That's the way I took it. The way he said it is not the way I heard it. That just happened recently to me. That he was being accused for something he did not do. So his church was accusing him and not letting him come. That's the way I took it. And I thought his pastor was accusing him. So I said, wait a minute. So I text his pastor, what's going on? He said, I'm on his side. Like, what do you mean? So I called the guy back up and said, no, his pastor's not accusing him. He never said that. But some of his people in his church was accusing him for what he was doing. But his pastor was never. You see all that? We were not, but the way he was communicating things to me and the way I heard it was two different things. Effective communication. Jesus did it in Luke 10, verse 20 and 25. Latter part of Luke. A lawyer came by and said, what must I do to inherit the kingdom of God? Don't it say? Inherit eternal life. He said, how is it written? He said, how do I read this? He goes, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, with all thy strength, with all thy mind, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Jesus said unto him, thou hast answered them well. This do, and thou shalt live. But he willingly to justify himself and said unto Jesus, who is my neighbor? Lawyer's asking him this because he was his connection with Jesus. A certain man went from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among the thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead. By chance, there came down a certain priest by the way, and he saw him pass by on the other side. This priest never had time to take care of this man. Lawyer's thinking there that, wait a minute, priest? He's a good man. He's got to take care of him. But he never did. Likewise, a Levite. Lawyer's thinking this Levite's going to take care of him. But he just then went over to the other side and said, I'm not going to take care of him. He's done. But a Samaritan came by. And he saw and had companion on this guy. This lawyer was now really being confused. I mean, really had his mind turning now. And he went and bound his wounds up, pouring oil and wine, and set him on his beasts and brought him to an inn and took care of him. So therefore, he's now bringing this guy down to the next town and said, here, take care of this guy. He pulled out his money and said, hey, this is what, if it costs more than this when I come back, I will pay. And that's exactly what happened. Which of these three thinkest thou was thy neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said he showed mercy. He said, the one that showed mercy on the one that fell there upon the thieves. Jesus said, go, do likewise. I see two things there. Communication and connection. Jesus effectively communicated to this lawyer in a proper way, and he connected with him, with his heart. He had him right there. Jesus said, go do that. What does our neighbor look like? I have just this week, I had an uncle that lost his born. Is that my neighbor or is that my uncle? Both, I would think. Is the person working next to me my neighbor? Is a person living next to me my neighbor? Who's our neighbor? I was growing up that our neighbors live along our streets. That's my neighbors. That's my neighbors. But Jesus laid it out a whole different way. Who's our neighbor? He's effective. He's communicating effectively to his disciples. The thing that I like about this is that Jesus came down to the earth as a man in flesh, and he effectively communicated to his 12 disciples, and he taught them well, and he left them. He let them go. He was effective in his teaching. If he would have taught everything he had in his mind to his disciples couldn't have handled it. He gave him little by little. They taught that, he gave him more, a little bit more, a bit more. He gave them as much as they could handle, because their minds could not handle everything he had for them. Their heart could not handle everything he had for them, but still he was effective. And there, I can see that as a snowball effect. From there, it left loose. After he left, he said he's going to send his spirit. And he did. And there it went. And there they went all across the world. They didn't just stay there. They went and preached the gospel. There's another story in Daniel that I like. Daniel was ripped out of his home at the age of 14. As a little child, he was taught how to pray. That was a connection he had with his God. He was ripped from his home. He never stopped praying. They came up against him and said, whoever prays within 30 days, he's going to be thrown in the lion's den. Ouch. He wasn't scared. He wasn't scared. He prayed anyway. They got him. The lions get him? No. God sent his angels to protect him because he had to get the connection. I'm challenged by those thoughts, and I hope everybody else is as well. But these thoughts, if something comes up against us, says, I'm going to throw Mer in a lion's den. Or Mer's going to come up to me, I'm going to throw you in a lion's den. What's that going to do to me? If I have that connection with God, that should not even affect me. Whatever he does to me. Jesus taught effectively all through the Bible. I like it. You can read everywhere. I've been pondering these words for the last couple of weeks, and it doesn't matter where you're at, what you do. Everyone wants this connection. I went to this frolic on Friday to build my uncle's barn. I could have chose to put myself in the box and said, I'm not going to help these Amish guys. That's it. No. But I didn't. I walked up to him. I helped him. Everybody was being connected. Wherever you go, churches, work, everybody desires that connection. What level of connection do we have? Have we heard this morning already? How deep are we connecting heart to heart? How deep are we connecting with God? It's a challenging thought. When we read these things, we meditate a little bit on these, how we communicate effectively, and how good our connection is. So coming back to the original question, what is effective communication? Are we that effective at communicating to God that he answers every single prayer? That as soon as we get off of our knees, that everything's going to flow exactly how we prayed? There's things in our life that we need to filter. Put a filter on our hearts and determine if that was from God or if that was from Satan. Where are we at? Are we putting our filters on and determine what's from God and what's not? Or are we just letting everything slip by? We go to work tomorrow morning. Everybody desires that connection. And effective communication in workplace can get a lot done in a day's time. When you order things in. And so it is with God. He's ready. He's ready to answer our prayers. The question is, are we ready to move forward? Let's go and be blessed.